Here you go. I got you a coffee.
Ah, thanks. Yeah, you seen all them roadworks they've got around where you're trying to get out of town?
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
Tell you what, right, trying to find a route where you can avoid all the roadworks is like trying to play Pac-Man on the road system.
Well, you can always look online, see where they're going to be.
Look online? Look online?
Look online.
I shouldn't have to look online to get from A to B, for goodness sake. Better signage. Better signage. That's what they need.
The signs are all very clear, mate.
Well, they are clear, but they're not there till the last minute, are they? You get there and you see the sign and you're all like, well, that's me scuppered for my chances of getting to my chiropodist on time.
You're seeing a chiropodist?
No, I just plucked it out of the air as an example to which to make my very astute but slightly whiny point.
Well, there were signs in most places for about a month that said there will be roadworks here from this day to this day.
Give me a break. No one reads them. You're driving past, aren't you? You're like, no one slows down to read all that gubbins. You see it and you go, oh well. You know who needs better signage though, don't you?
Who?
You know.
Nobby zombies.
No, the Lord. That's who.
What, God?
Yeah. Better signage. That's what he needs.
You mean like where churches are and stuff?
What? Now look, I'm only skirting around the edges of the faith and I'm not all bells and whistles like what you are. But even me, in my secular exploratory stage, still knows that God don't live in no churches. I mean,
True.
he needs more signage in general, like God was here.
I think that's what Christians think has been going on all the time through their lives and through the Bible.
You told me that time that we was fishing with Handsome Dave and Roughy Tufty Rufus, that when Jesus come onto the scene, even though there'd been prophecies about him and the religious leaders types, they didn't recognise him. That he was the one.
Oh yeah, that's
Better
because
signage.
well,
Eh?
that's because they weren't expecting.
And you told me that even though Jesus done like tons of miracles and driving out evil and demon spirits and things, to showing power and things over nature, they didn't even see that they were signs that he was God, eh?
Well, they did keep asking for more signs. That's
Better
because
signage. When I meet God, right, I'm gonna have a ton of questions, and one of them's definitely going to be, why didn't you advertise yourself better?
Well, it's like over 400, maybe over 500 prophecies that point to Jesus in the Jewish scriptures, particularly if you look at types of people and the lives they lived and the things what they done, as well as what the prophets said. Loads.
Still not enough for me. They're like them road signs. We'll be here soon, except they're even more vague.
Right.
And that John guy, what wrote that gospel, which one did he write?
John's Gospel?
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. He misses loads out.
What do you mean, Mrs. Logan?
You told me read Matthew,
Right,
Mark, Luke,
right.
John, and that will help me to know Jesus better, right? John's left most of the stuff out. He's gone all Lone Ranger.
And with good reason.
Oh, here we go.
What?
Here we go. With good reason, you're going to slide in some genius Bible brilliance here, aren't you?
Well, we are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, and our presence automatically liberates others.
Marianne Williamson,
Marianne Williamson.
My Deepest Fear
That's
poem.
right.
I know it, okay. I release you.
Thank
I
you.
release you to bamboozle me with your
I
life.
feel released. Right. Unlike the others, right, who stick loads of stories in their gospels.
I want to say particularly Luke. He just went for it, didn't he?
He did.
Like, remember the lucky golden orb of Beijing was set up on the corner from the Greasy Gran? And they stuck everything they could on their menu in the sign. And it was like, too much information, mate. But they did do a lovely Kung Po chicken.
Stay with me, okay? So it feels like when John wrote his gospel, he wanted to shove in only a few things so that people could focus on them.
You mean he redacted the materials in such a way that the narrative structure was more digestible?
Yeah, like that.
Wish they'd done that with the food at the Greasy Gran. No wonder it was shut down when the health inspector come round.
It did, but keep with me, all right? So, John narrows it all down to 7 signs.
7 signs.
Yeah, 7 signs.
7 things. What are they then?
Well, they're all pretty famous. See if you can finish the titles. So, Jesus turns water into
Wine. I know that one.
There we go.
Wine.
Right, number 2, Jesus heals a Roman official's
Toe?
son.
Son?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's not even there, is he?
Yeah. Number 3, Jesus heals a beggar by the
Sea?
by the pool. The pool, what was used by Romans because they thought it had some mystical healing supernatural properties, and the Jews didn't go nowhere near it.
Right, number 4.
Jesus feeds
5,000 people. The one lunch.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Yep. Number 5, Jesus walks on
Water.
Yep.
Well famous.
Yep. Number 6, Jesus heals a man who is born.
Born again?
You just say random Christian
Yeah.
phrases.
Yeah. They're born blind. Born
Yes.
blind. There's massive arguments about it, aren't
Right.
there?
Yeah.
The religious types are like, who's done this? And he's like, I don't know, I was blind.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 7, the final sign in John is Jesus raising
Taxes, expectations.
Lazarus. He raises Lazarus.
That's I knew that one. I was messing with your mind.
So that's the 7, right? As John moves you through these 7, he's picked these 7 out so we can see things what Jesus has authority over.
I'll get that. Turn the water into wine. That's a sign Jesus has authority over the alcohol industry and its stranglehold on our socio-economic and health systems.
Or power over creation, and he can make stuff that's already old with just a single word.
Yeah. All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Healing the official's son who's not even there. What's that about?
That shows Jesus has such authority over sickness, he don't even need to be there to heal someone.
Exactly. And the crippled guy who's by the magical pool of water, that's about how Jesus, brackets God, don't care whether we're in the right place or not. He'll come to us wherever we are, even to places that we think God isn't going or has. He has authority over every place.
And what's the next one?
5,000, feeding the 5,000.
Well, that reminds me of Moses in the desert with all a million
Bang.
Hebrews, and they're like, whiny, whiny, it was better in Egypt
Yeah.
when we were slaves. Now we're going to starve and it's all your fault. And Moses goes, come on, they need some decent grub.
Yeah.
And
He
he
does.
gives us miracle food, the manna, round the edge of the camp every single day for 40 years.
Yeah. So Jesus has the authority to do stuff that God does. And then, walking on the water,
Authority over the weather.
yeah, authority over the whole of space and time, mate.
Well,
It breaks all the rules of physics. Then they get in the boat, instantly they're at the other side of the lake. It's
Really?
massive, this lake. That's authority over space and time.
all right. And the man born blind, that's a gross one. He spits on the ground, doesn't he? Makes mud and smears it onto this guy's eyes. If that were me, right, with Grim Jim from down the Slug and Greyhound, I'd be like, keep your spitter away from me.
No, until you remember Genesis 2.
How am I supposed to know what you're talking about?
How does Genesis 2 say it? God made the first bloke.
Oh, all right. Penny dropping
Ka-ching.
moment here. Like, you know when you're in the penny arcade on the 10p slot
Yeah.
game and the whole load fall over the edge? God forms the first geezer out of mud. So that story is a sign that Jesus is doing the same thing to recreate this guy's eyes. He's the creator. 10
Yeah.
points to jump.
Then the final sign is Lazarus. Jesus has authority over death itself.
All right. I can see that is good signage. Combine them with the thousands of years of build-up and hundreds of specific prophecies all pointing in one direction. Maybe God didn't set it up too badly.
I'm sure that God will be very relieved to hear that.
Yeah, sure he will. Do you think it was weird then, for Jesus, that Lazarus sign?
How do you mean?
Like, this is like what, you think it's like a year before Jesus dies?
We think it's around 2 weeks before Jesus' death.
That's what I was going to say.
I thought that's what you were.
Yeah. So Jesus, right, this friend of his who snuffed it, he's not there to save him. He goes after he's died, so he's missed the
Yeah.
funeral and everything. He's there looking at this tomb in the rock with the stone what's rolled across the entrance. He must have been thinking, this is going to be me. Do you think it was weird for him?
You know, Jesus weeps at this point in the Gospel of John, and he says a few times just how moved Jesus is.
Yeah. I reckon it would be really tough. He'd have been looking around at all the people grieving. They don't hide their tears in that culture. And he'd be thinking, I'm going to cause this grief to the people what I love in just 2 weeks' time.
and to know that he could have stopped Lazarus from dying.
Yeah.
But it needed to happen, just like it's going to need to happen for him. He's chosen to go to the cross. It's the only way for us to be forgiven.
Can't really imagine it, can you? There's him staring at that tomb, about to say Lazarus come out, and he knows it's going to be him. And there's no one outside his tomb saying, no, come out. There's not a feeling, though, in the story that Jesus lacks confidence in the fact that he's going to be destroying the power of death on the cross. But he does weep. He's emotional about it all. He had to live through the grief, and he knows it's all coming up again. He had to hold on to all that for like 2 weeks. I think he'd been on to it longer than that. You know, John's Gospel says this final sign, raising Lazarus, was the final straw for the religious leaders. It's the fact that he's now shown that he can reverse death itself, and they're like, not on my watch. They're a leader of all the leaders. He makes a statement about needing to kill Jesus. He doesn't realise that what he says is actually a prophecy rather than his own death blow. What's he saying? He says it's better for one guy to die for all the people than for everyone to perish. Now he thinks he's talking about getting rid of this troublemaker, but to keep everything as it is. But into his mouth, God literally gives him the final prophecy about Jesus, that his death is going to mean everyone who believes would not die but have eternal life. That you're always banging on about. Banging on. Yeah. All right. Maybe the signs were good and clear. What about today, though? So today, mate, there's like 2.6 billion people around the world who will tell you that they've got a personal experience of God working in their lives because of Jesus, and that they feel forgiven, they feel restored and renewed. They're walking signposts, mate. 1 in 3 people across the world. That's like if that many people had a product tattooed on their forehead, you wouldn't say that's not enough advertising. All right. So your answer is that Christians should tattoo Jesus is alive on their faces, like Terry's tats would be happy, wouldn't they? No, mate, no. Our lives are the signposts. Well, I'm not going to lie then. Christians are doing, I would generously say, Christians are doing a mixed job on that one. I would agree, including myself. Yeah, I agree with that and all. Oh, wow. Yeah, no offence. None taken. No, it's given me lots to think about. I'm going to go home and I'm going to reread that. Where's that passage? Go to John 11 and John 12. I will. John 11, 12. Right.